All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are closing in on the main event after this. Right now, we have a really interesting panel, actually, and it's from someone really credible, someone who's actually led some of the world's biggest IPOs, right here from Malaysia, is going to tell you why you should come and build in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm round of applause to Raymond, Siva, Paramasivam.
Hey guys. I just absolutely feel like Russell Peters, man, coming into that, right? Not half as funny, but hey, try to keep you entertained. Listen, guys, good to see the crowd still here outside, coming back in for the main event. So I understand that I'm the appetizer before the main course is served, and that's good. It's 5 o'clock, it's raining outside. Why Malaysia? Interesting part, right? So I used to work in a government agency called the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, right? Taking a short break for now. In Malay we say keluar sekejap, and then let's see what happens. But very importantly is, I think, our passion for building the digital economy. And right now, Malaysia is under the spotlight, right? There's a lot of things happening with us, and I want to share with you guys what's happening on the infrastructure play. You've heard of Google, 2 billion. You've heard of AWS. You've heard of ByteDance. And the rest of them all coming into Malaysia. We're looking to build out Malaysia's digital infra capacity, and capabilities. The country is also doubling down on next-gen tech and emerging tech. AI is very important to us. Every country will say that. Any company will say that. We will have the fastest supercomputer in the ASEAN region by Q1 of next year. Yeah, you've heard Oracle just recently announced bringing the Grace Blackwell GB200 chips into Malaysia. And then you will have YTL with NVIDIA also turning on the juice for another 25,000 flops by Q1 of next year. What does this mean? Is that a lot of developers, a lot of companies are looking into Malaysia as a sandbox, to see how they can build out business cases, use cases for their companies. Now, very interestingly, I was in Dubai 2 weeks ago. I was in Singapore for a token, and now here. And what I see now is really a convergence. So I would like to call it a triangle between Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore. Malaysia sits in the middle, right? So think about that. A lot of money, a lot of companies have gone into Dubai. Hong Kong has got a great place if you want to get into China. Singapore is Singapore and they've done well. The food is good there. But Malaysia has got, no, actually not as good as Malaysia. So I correct myself. But if you look in the middle, thank you for that applause. But if you look in the middle, Malaysia is fast becoming the hub, really becoming the hub for digital companies, developers to base themselves out here, right? Why is that? So in addition to the 5G connectivity that we have, a very strong 4G LTE connectivity, and it's ubiquitous across Malaysia, we've also got a great group of people like yourself, right? I've met quite a few outside. The developer base, the talent base is very strong, right? Now let's talk about regulations for a bit. So I was asked a lot in Dubai as well as in Singapore, what's going on in Malaysia. So if you look at it, there are two parallel jurisdictions, right? One is in Peninsular Malaysia and one is in this jurisdiction called Labuan. Have you guys heard of it, Labuan? So there are two, right? One is controlled, looked at by the Securities Commission. Bank Negara has oversight on it. And on this side, you've got the Labuan authorities, looking at how to license you guys. So, you've got two parallel jurisdictions for you to look at and see what is best for your business, right? And it's really interesting to note that Labuan last year announced the establishment of a blockchain hub, which is backed up by incentives. So if you do it, Islamic blockchain hub. So if you're thinking about doing halal traceability and anything around the halal value chain, that's the place to be at, right? To tap into the USD 3.3 trillion USD market, right? Pay zero tax for 5 years, and there are many other benefits that go along with it. So just think about it, right? If you're talking about RWA, you're talking about tokenization, think about how you can bring that to bear into the Islamic digital economy or the Islamic financial system. Right? That's what we want to look at, and Labuan has already announced that. Now, over on this side, where we are, in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia, and the rest, there's a really robust infrastructure there. We were the first to license the IEOs. First, 2020. We were the first now to do the Islamic blockchain hub. And there are many other firsts that we have done. It's just that I don't think we've shouted a lot about it. So I want you guys to help me out and put it on your Twitter and your LinkedIn and the rest and say, you know, we have to look a little bit more closely at Malaysia and see what they offer. Just recently as well, I don't know whether you follow the news, I'm sure you do, the state of Johor announced the special financial incentives, special financial zone for companies in the financial sector, especially fintech, regtech, and the rest, insurtech. We are saying as well that you guys in the Web3 payment solution space who's looking to build out systems should also very closely look at that. Yeah, we've heard, we've seen, and we've talked to a number of companies from Dubai as well as Singapore already moving into Forest City. Yeah, so that's the next, I believe, hub that's coming up. And we've got to think about Forest City as a place that you can tap into the money from Singapore, not the food. You know, you can look at the market in Indonesia, which is just 2 hours away, and a hop, skip, and a jump away from Labuan. So think about that. You know, cost of living is so much lower. You've got access to talent around UTM and the rest. And you've got a regulatory framework that allows you to expand your business. Yeah? You pay 0 to 5% tax. Income tax is at 15%. You get other allowances that you know, we can work out together. So my colleagues from the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC, a big shout out there. They can walk you through this. Now, if you also look at what agreements we are signing up to, you know, we have the RCEP, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership that gives us China. We've got CPTPP and we've got the ASEAN FTA. What does this mean, guys? Is that a lot of guys are telling me, I know, Ray, Malaysia is a bit grey. You know, we don't know what we can do and what we cannot do. Well, don't do anything illegal, lah, right? And everything else that's not against the law, I think is okay. You can always check with MDEC or people like me, right, to see whether it is okay or not. But I can tell you the licenses that have been issued with the SC as well as the Labuan Financial Authority is quite comprehensive, guys, right? So my ex-team or my team there is currently building that out. And we want to be transparent by putting all the licenses that has been approved out on the web. We'll speak to the likes of Danny, who's done, I think, a really super job this year. Congrats, Danny. Next year, I want to see a bigger event for ASEAN. And we want to make sure that you guys understand how to lend. Now, I don't want to slag the neighbors, but this is true, right? In Dubai, Bara is the authority, right? How much for a license in Dubai? 100,000 dirham? Yeah, thereabouts. Company cost 25,000, compliance cost. Then you've got to take office space, you've got to hire people, you're out of pocket by 200,000 dirhams by the time you do anything else, right? You cost compare that with Malaysia or Labuan, it is 1/4 of the cost, right? 1/3 of the cost to do business, right? So it makes a lot more sense financially to think about putting business into Malaysia. Number 2 is the talent. I keep hearing talent, talent, talent. We have a lot of talent. At the last count, we've got about 40,000 talents dispersed across Malaysia. This includes foreigners. Why? We have the digital nomad pass. Yeah, we have the D-Rantau digital nomad pass that gets you in the country for 6 months. And you can be anywhere in the rainforest, scuba diving, down in Johor for 6 months, right? And the infrastructure in terms of connectivity, 6-star. Malaysia has it and you guys know it, right? Okay, there's some patchy, connectivity. Any country has that, right? And again, the last part, again, is incentives. So in the short while you ponder about your next projects, you can watch us to be a lot more aggressive in this space. The government doesn't want to get involved from what I understand. Too hard. It's a light touch, but we want to ensure that you have the regulatory visibility, you have access to the incentives that we want to get you in here, and you have access to that talent. All of this should lead to, I hope, some interesting projects, chain agnostic, that's going to come out. We're going to focus, and tell you what it is, we're going to focus on tokenization. RWA is going to be a key focus for us next year. We need to ramp up our play there. We're also looking at other areas like GameFi. That's going to be another huge explosion from what I understand and what I'm seeing. We want to ensure that we invite you guys to co-create with us and other areas that you think is going to look into the future. So don't be shy about reaching out to all of us in here. I've got a team of about 7, 8 of them, my team members moving around here. Engage with us, right? Talk to us, give us constructive criticisms. IOV, for example, Harpreet has been very, very open, Jagdish, JP, and the rest here, right? On that note, I've got a minute left. Is there any question? One question, then I can jump off the stage. Literally just jump off. Any questions?
Guys, any questions? I can pass you the mic if you want.
At all. Where's the best food?
Okay. Introduce yourself and ask your question.
Maybe one, yeah?
Okay. I want to ask about the capital gain tax from Malaysia. My name is Vanessa. Thank you.
There are no capital gain tax for Malaysia right now. There was, and the regulations are clearly across what are you disposing. Yeah. So if you own shares and you are selling shares of the company according to a certain level, then you attract capital gains tax, right? If you're not, if you're selling your shares in the company, not the company's shares, then you have no capital gains tax, right? We can meet up right after this to give you a bit more clarity. There is a little bit of technical play in that. Just see me right after this and we can get on to that. I can squeeze in no more questions right now because I've run out of time.
Raymond, I think you have enough time for just one more question.
One more, okay, one more.
Anybody else? Okay. Sorry, he put his hand up first. Your name, where you're from, and your question.
Brett from the United States. Just how can we get a hold of you in the future?
Look me up on LinkedIn.
These are easy questions, man. Anybody got more difficult questions for Raymond here? Okay, right behind you.
Don't
Okay.
give it to Matthew. He's putting his hands up. Don't give it to him.
Okay, I'll give it to Matthew.
Hey, come on. Yeah, this way, man. I see Matthew all the time.
Hi, Raymond.
Like all.
So now that you're a free agent, right? What are your plans?
My plans is to take the third question. Keluar sekejap. I'm out for a bit. Let me think about what to do. I'll be back in the ecosystem in a short while, right? But still very, very passionate about digital economy and what you guys are building here, man, right? So you've got my support. I hope to get your support, guys, for next year.
We definitely hope to see you back in the scene.
For sure. Capital gain tax still got on my mind. I'll come back to you. One last question at the back.
Okay, fine. Gentleman with the ponytail. Introduce yourself and your question. This is really the last one, really.
Hi, my name is Daniel. I just have a very simple question. Do we have any chance of seeing an MYR stablecoin sometime in the future?
Ooh, very good question. This one, my team at the back also all hush discussing. I think it is the way to go. That's personally out of government now, wearing my personal hat. I think we have to look at it. Both the regulators are looking at it. It is to see when is the best timing to do it, right? The timing is key here. A lot of work being done by the regulators in Malaysia to push this forward, to push our industry forward. I think that's needed. That's me saying this now, personally, okay? You will probably see some developments here within Q1 of next year, right? And we'll be very happy to engage our community here to see how best we can benefit you, yeah? I mean, if you look around the world, everyone's talking about this. Countries have already launched this already, but there's always that timing, right? And we want to look at Q1 next year, I think for obvious reasons, where the world is moving after the US elections happen. And there are quite a number of milestone events that's going to happen. So, you know, there's no rush to do it, but I think we would have to do it. Right?
Okay. Malaysia stablecoin Q1 2025. You heard it here first at ETHKL24.
Updates.
Yeah, please quote Raymond on this in the papers tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Raymond.
Thank you. Danny, thank you again for keeping me on stage. Yeah?